To the other story we've been following this hour, the target letter sent by special counsel Jack Smith to Donald Trump sets up the possibility of adding a new indictment to the laundry list of legal problems that the former president right now faces. From state and federal investigations to civil and criminal courts, it can be hard to keep up with all the developments if you're just trying to keep track at home, and even more difficult for the lawyers right now trying to juggle their defense of Mr. Trump. NBC News senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett is joining me now to help sort through all of this. Laura, you can excuse folks who are trying to keep track of all of this. Let's start with that potential indictment in Washington. You got the pretrial hearings in Florida. You got the hush money case in New York, the repeated losses in the E. Jean Carroll civil proceedings. How challenging is this undertaking that the legal team for the former president faces right now?
It's massive, Peter, and that's why we're trying to figure out who, if anyone, the former president is planning to add to his legal team, because obviously he's going to need as much legal firepower, people with experience in these types of cases as possible. We know he has at least one former federal prosecutor, Todd Blanche, someone very well respected. He also has Chris Kise. But then other than that, Peter, he does not have that many other people working on his case. You know, remember, he lost two lawyers sort of at the 11th hour right before he was indicted by the special counsel. And so it's sort of an open question. And then, as you mentioned, he's got all of these cases in multiple jurisdictions, yet the only one that has a trial date is that hush money case here in Manhattan. But you can imagine the lawyers are going to be arguing, as you and I have discussed many times, they're going to be arguing, look, Judge, we have to delay because we have all these other cases. But you wonder how many judges are going to go for that.
So, Laura, let's get to the most recent case that we're watching. What do prosecutors need to prove if they charge Mr. Trump with trying to steal the 2020 election?
Well, one of the interesting things that I'm looking at, and we haven't seen the actual target letter yet, which makes it a little bit difficult, but if it's what we think it is, this idea of obstructing official proceeding, they're going to have to show that the former president had some sort of corrupt intent. That, in other words, not that he knew that he was breaking the law, but that he was put on notice that he had lost the election and that he was trying to subvert the will of the people and overturn the election anyway. And we know that he was advised by many advisors on more than one occasion that he had lost and that there was no widespread voter fraud. And so prosecutors are going to want to bring in all of that evidence. Now, they don't have to prove that he knew he had lost, but people I've talked to, former federal prosecutors, have said, hey, look, if they have that evidence, if they have that testimony secured by the grand jury, you can bet they're going to want to use it, Peter.
Because fundamentally, one of the challenges here is intent, right? Demonstrating the president's intent. You can't get into his mind, but you can talk to those people who spoke to him and get a sense of what he said and what he knew.
And that's exactly what they're going to be trying to get at in the grand jury, to lock down as much of that as possible so that they know what those witnesses would say at trial.
Laura Jarrett, our friend, we appreciate your reporting. Thank you.